Girl, I hope you know, get you on a flight to the city. It ain't the same at all when you ain't with me, when
I like the little sound, the little clicking sound from the AirPods. So satisfying. So in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Amazon. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. That was such a weird intro. Let's just get started. So right off the bat, let me tell you guys that product research doesn't take an hour, it doesn't take 2 hours, it doesn't take 3 hours or a whole day. It could take up a lot longer. It could sometimes take a week, 2 weeks, just depending on how much effort you put into it or how many hours you spend actually looking for a product. If you only look for a product for an hour a day, it could take you a month, it could take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It genuinely just depends on how hard you're looking, just how much effort you're willing to put into it. It's not something that you should get done or should be done within a day or two, unless you get really, really lucky, which is in rare occasions. But most of the time, you should be taking a good amount of time to find a product. It's not something that you're gonna find over days, so don't try to rush into it. If you rush into it, you're just gonna be choosing a product out of desperation, and that's something that you don't want. So again, do not choose a product out of desperation. Don't rush into it. Don't try to get it done the same day or the same hour, because you're gonna end up ruining your store, or not ruining your store, but you're gonna have a bad experience because you're gonna be putting all this money into a product that you didn't research properly, and that product is going to backfire on you because you didn't do the research. So make sure you do your research and don't rush into it. Again, I cannot stress it enough. Do not rush into it. So let's cover over a couple of things that you need to have, or little prerequisites that you should have before starting your product research, or what you should look for your product when doing your product research. I feel like that was way better. So essentially what you should be looking for is a product that at least has, or that at least sells 10 products or 10 units a day. So essentially you're gonna be targeting or looking for products that sell 300 units every month minimum. Then you wanna make sure that it's not too competitive. And then the way we go ahead and do this is by looking at the reviews. Now the reviews won't give you a definitive answer, but they'll kind of give you a good idea of how competitive that market is. For example, if the product has 50 reviews or they have 70 reviews, they're around the sweet spot. 70, kind of pushing it towards the limit. 75, I really try to avoid anything above 75. 25 to 50 should be like the perfect spot. Anything around there should be good. If most of the reviews or most of the products are under that or have that many reviews, then you want to go ahead and look into it. You still have to take other factors into consideration, but that's a good sign if most of the products or most of the units are or have that many reviews. You also want to take size into consideration. You don't want something too big and bulky. You want something small, something that's under 5 pounds, preferably something that fits inside of a shoebox or around that shape. So anything that's that type of size or that size would work perfectly. If you're going something that's like this, I'm not sure you could kind of guess how big this is, but if you're going for anything that's like weirdly shaped or that's way too big, then you obviously want to stay away from it, because you're going to be paying a lot more in fees from Amazon and from your shipping supplier, or from your supplier shipping it to you, because your product is so big or so heavy. So make sure that you get something that's not too big and not too heavy. And finally, you want to make sure that the product isn't patented. The reason you want to do that is because if it is, Amazon or the person who has the patent could just basically contact Amazon and have them bring it down, which happened to me, and I ended up losing a lot of money in that case, or I lost about 1,400. So if you want to avoid all that, just make sure that your product isn't patented, and it just sucks ass. By the way, talking about getting that return from Amazon, they sent me a shitload of boxes. I believe I ordered somewhere like around 140, 150 units that I shipped out to Amazon, and they ended up shipping them back 3 or 2 units at a time in big ass boxes. So I had a shitload of boxes left over from Amazon. That was, I don't know, I just got a little sidetracked. I just thought it was worth mentioning. So let's just go ahead and back to the video. So essentially you want to look for that, and you also want to stay away from certain products. What I recommend is to stay away from anything that has to do with glass, just because it breaks, or you don't want to be held accountable in case that product breaks. So that's one. The other one is anything that's electronical, or any electronics you want to avoid, anything with batteries. You want to go ahead and avoid all that just because they have a really high return rates. The same thing with clothing, and there's a couple other niches, but I'll talk about it later. Essentially, you just want to avoid those big ones because you're going to be dealing with a lot of returns, and you obviously want to avoid that. So just stay away from those and just follow the rest of the things, or the rest of the steps to finding a product, and you should be okay. Essentially, there's no right or wrong way to search for a product. There's multiple ways you could go ahead and do so. Today, we're going to talk about 2 ways. We're going to talk about going through Amazon, like using Amazon to search for a product, or using Jungle Scout, which I recommend you use Jungle Scout for your initial search. Let's just go ahead and actually, let me just show you Jungle Scout. So once you go inside the website, you're gonna be brought up here. We're gonna select pricing, and you're gonna have the option to get the web app or the Chrome extension. The one you're actually gonna need the most is gonna be the Chrome extension, so that one you definitely can't go without it. That's the one that I recommend you guys go with. Now there's 2 option plans for it, which I'll talk about in just a second. Now for the web application, that one you're only gonna be paying for 1 month or until you find your product. So let's just say it takes you 2 weeks to find your product. You could go ahead and cancel it and even get your money back since it has 30-day money back guarantee. But if it takes you longer, then obviously you're gonna have to pay for it a little bit longer. So this is why I recommend that you guys actually put in time and effort into searching for a product within the first month or so. For those of you guys who are confused between the Chrome extension and the web app, basically the web application helps you search for products. So if you guys don't know what to get into or what to sell, the web application is gonna help you by setting filters and all this stuff to look for products that you probably wouldn't have thought of. And then the Chrome extension is to basically gauge the competition and see if the product is worth selling or not. So the Chrome extension is gonna be used when you're inside the Amazon website, and it's gonna display all the results from the listings of that product that you're searching. So for example, if you're looking for dog collars and you go into Amazon and you type in dog collars, it's gonna bring you up this whole search result, and in there you use the Chrome extension, and that's basically gonna go ahead and give you the results or some information from all the product listings. So I'll show you that in just a second. Now the web application allows you, like I said, to search for products that you probably wouldn't have thought of. So let's actually get into the Chrome extension so I can show you guys how to use it and whatnot. Before we get into all that, I kind of forgot that you guys are pretty much interested in the pricing. I'm pretty sure you guys want to know what everything's going to cost you. So for the web application, let's look at the plans. We have let's switch over to monthly. So we have 3 different plans. We have a startup, standard, and business. The startup is pretty much what you need. You don't have to go above and beyond. You could get the $99 one, but honestly, you don't need it. $39 one is fine. That's what I use, and that's what a lot of people who start off Amazon that I know of use. So that's the one I'm gonna go ahead and recommend. And keep in mind that you're not gonna be paying for it every month. You're only gonna be using it until you find your product. So if you find it in the first week, you're only gonna pay $39. But if it takes you longer, then obviously you're gonna have to pay more. And for the Chrome extension, there's 2 plans. There's a $97 one and the $197. I went with the $197 just because I did. I'm really not sure as to why I went for it. By the way, guys, if you see me randomly look up, it's just because I have my monitor with everything up there. So the information is up there, not down here. So that's why you see me look up. So it's not just because I'm just weird and like to look up at the sky, but it's because I have my information there. So like I said, for the Chrome extension, there's 2 types of plans. You guys could go with the $197 one or the $97 one. Personally, I went with the $197 one. That's just because I wanted to. I honestly don't remember why I went with it. I just bought it. But some of the other people that I know of and are doing Amazon, they went with the light one and they were perfectly fine with it. So don't feel like you need to spend $197. You're totally fine with the $97 one. And keep in mind that this one you are gonna need. This one is definitely. The other one, you don't really need it. It helps a lot. It helps speed things up, but you don't really need it as much as the Chrome extension. So after making the account, setting up everything, buying the extension and whatnot, you guys should see this or should be brought over to this page whenever you try to find a product. This is where we're initially gonna search for everything. So you guys see my menu, see what I have selected. This is kind of what you guys are gonna go for. This is a very basic filter, or these are some very basic filters. If you guys watched any other Amazon product research videos, I'm pretty sure you guys saw something like this or something similar to this or to these filters. But let me just go over them for those of you guys who are new or for those of you guys who are just starting with Amazon and have no idea or haven't watched any other video. So if we start from the very top, you're obviously gonna select that the marketplace you're trying to sell. So if you guys are trying to sell to the US, you're obviously gonna select the US, Canada, and so forth. So then we're gonna break it down to the categories. The ones that I like selecting are arts and craft, baby, home, industrial, kitchen, office products, patio, tools, and home improvement. Now, some of the ones that I leave out and are still pretty good are health and household, sports and outdoors, and pet supplies. Those are really, really competitive. You might find some really good products here and there, but most of them are really burnout or are just really, really competitive. So I stay away from those unless I'm specifically searching an individual list or an individual niche, my bad. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click on them. But in this case, I'm not searching a niche. I'm just searching to see what I find. So basically, I'm just casting a net, trying to throw it into the deep water, see what I get. That's essentially what we're doing here. We're not breaking it down by going inside each individual niche. You guys could go ahead and do so, but in this case, we're just basically going to target as much as we can and see what we get. So feel free to stop this video at any time and just copy this. For filters here inside the maximum price, I set 18 to 52. The reason I do that is because I want to sell a product that's within the $20 to $50 range. So that way customers could actually buy an impulse, or that they're impulse buys. Anything around that price range doesn't really require much thought into it. For example, if you're buying something that's $90, you might want to look at some reviews, look at some YouTube videos and so forth. Not really for $20 products. Now, don't get me wrong, there's people that do that, but it's not as common as, you know, something that's like $200, $300. But I like to sell products that are between $20 to $50. So that's why I set my filters to 18 to 52, just so I could catch any other product that's a little bit under 20 or just a little bit over 50. Then for my reviews, I set it for 25 to 75. So anything over 75 is way too competitive. Still, 75 is low-key kind of pushing it, but I still sometimes just decide to go into it just because it's a little bit in the higher end, but it's still doable. Anything under 20, it just means that there's really not much competition there, or there's really not much demand there, I should say. So 25 to 50 is the sweet spot. 75 is kind of pushing it, but you can get away with it. Then for the minimum and monthly sales, you want to focus on products that sell at least 10 units a day. So that's going to be 300 units every month minimum. So essentially you want anything that sells 300 units or more. And then for weight, we're going to select anything under 5 pounds, anything over 5 pounds, or anything just basically heavier. It's going to cost you more to ship out. So anything that's 5 pounds and under is pretty much a safe bet. So we're going to go ahead with that. Then you just go ahead and click search. But before we do that, I'm just going to remove these two because I don't like messing with kitchen and just dining a lot, because I get a lot of repetitive listings. So I just remove it sometimes. So in this case, I'm just going to take them off. So once you go ahead and hit search, you should have a list of all the products or all the results that Jungle Scout was able to retrieve. And in here, you just basically look for products that look interesting to you, that look like have potential. So let's just go over them. You just keep scrolling and see what interests you. As you see here, everything is over $20 or over $17, and they all have at least 300 in sales every month, or 300 units sold every month, and they're all under 5 pounds. So that's good. That's essentially what we want, and it's Jungle Scout is basically working as we want it, or how we want it. Now you just have to do your part and sit through pages and pages and look for products. So that's the Jungle Scout web app, and that's what you're able to do with the $39. Obviously you're able to do a little bit more than that, but essentially that's what you're gonna be doing with it. That's what you're gonna be utilizing for. Now, if you don't wanna pay the $39 for the web application, you could actually use Amazon, but it's not gonna work as efficiently as the Jungle Scout app. So if you guys don't wanna get the web app, you guys just come over here to Amazon and type in a broad keyword, and then just let the Amazon suggestion box do the rest. So let's just say that we were going with something related to yoga. That's the niche we wanted to get into. If you see down here, we have all these different search results, which we could then go from there. So we have yoga blocks, yoga pants, yoga ball, yoga socks, yoga strap, yoga towel, yoga mat strap, yoga mat bag. And then you could kind of get ideas of what to go for and just kind of click on them and just spend time, just research everything, clicking on different things. It's gonna be a lot of clicking, I'll tell you that. So you type in something really broad and then just see what comes up in the suggested. Most of the time it's products that people are already looking for. That's why they're being suggested. So that's one way to go about it and not have to spend those $39. But keep in mind that you're paying that premium to have everything pretty much ready to go, or as efficient as possible. So I really recommend that you guys get the web application. That's definitely a must for me. It might not be for some of you guys, but definitely for me. So if you guys have the budget for it, just get it for the first month and spend the whole day just researching, or most of your days just researching, and really make those $39 pay off. So I went ahead and looked for products, pulled up a couple, and we're just gonna go over them so you guys could kind of see what to look for. So let's go ahead and start with this first one, which is a office chair cylinder replacement. So the way we wanna go ahead and see if this product is worth getting into, you guys have to have the Jungle Scout extension already installed. Mine is up here. So let's just get the biggest keyword that best describes this product, or the best keyword that best describes this product. So in this case, it's gonna be the chair cylinder replacement. I feel like that's the biggest keyword for this product, so we're gonna select that. And after we type that in the search result, we get all this, and then we just basically tap on or click on the Jungle Scout web application. It's gonna do its thing. It's basically searching for all the stats on all the units or all the listings. So after it's done fetching all that information, it's gonna basically present you with this. And don't feel too overwhelmed when you see this. what I like to do is just focus on a couple of things. So we're gonna focus on the top 10 listings. And out of those top 10, 6 or 7 of them have to at least match all of our criteria. So they have to match all of our requirements for pricing, monthly sales, and reviews. So if we go under pricing, at least 6 or 7 of the listings have to be over $20. So if we go here, we have 29, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 listings that are $20. So in the pricing department, it's okay, it's pretty good. Now, if we look over at the monthly sales, we want at least 300 units every month. So if we go here, 200, that doesn't meet our requirement. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we only have 5 listings that meet our requirement. So right off the bat, I'm really not feeling this product. And then if we go to reviews, so remember, anything under 75 is okay. So we have 80, that's over it, 1, 2, 3. So the product is a little bit too competitive, and it also says it here, medium demand with high competition. Obviously, don't trust this all the time. I don't really like trusting it. I like doing what I do or what I'm showing you guys here. So 6 to 7 listings should meet the pricing requirements. They should meet the reviews requirements and the units sold requirements. If you only have 2 out of 3, then don't go with the product. Don't try to sell it. If you have 3 out of 3, then that's when you want to go ahead and focus on the product and actually move forward with it. So let's go ahead and look at the other product that I found. So this was a collapsible funnel. So we're going to go ahead and search for them. And then we're just going to go over here to the Jungle Scout application, or the extension, my bad. And we just let it do its thing again. So again, we're looking for those 3 categories. We're looking for pricing, sales, monthly sales, and reviews. So if they don't pass, if those 3 categories don't pass with 6 to 7 listings passing them, then we don't want to focus on the reviews. Hopefully I'm not confusing any of you guys. I'm gonna have something around here to kind of help you guys see it, so visualize it for those of you guys who are more visual. So let's go over them. So right off the bat, I'm seeing that the pricing is not over $20, so this is not something that I want to get into. The reason being is that $20 gives us a lot more profit, or a lot more room to like fuck up, basically. So if you mess up something, or you have to pay a little bit more out of pocket for advertising, it gives us still a lot of room for profits. So $8, that's cutting it too close. Most of them are around the $7, $8 mark. So obviously I'm not gonna go with this product. So let's just look at the monthly sales just for the fun of it. And let's see, this first one passes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 out of 10. So that obviously would work for that section. And then let's look at the reviews. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no. So the only thing that passed was the monthly sales, but this product is too competitive and the pricing is not something that I want to get into, because it doesn't leave me a lot of room to really test out different things and just mess up on advertising. And the reason I say mess up on advertising is just because sometimes you do fuck up in a couple of things here or there. So you always want to have room to mess up, if that makes any sense. Obviously you shouldn't go with the intentions to mess up, but it's always good to have that extra room just in case you ever do need it. All right, let's move over to the next product. Okay, we went with the silicone spatula set. So we're just gonna search for it. So this product sells around $18. That's the average price. It's a little bit on the lower side, but I could still get into it. Keep in mind that when I say $20, I don't mean $20 on the dot. 17 is okay. 16.50, that's a little bit too low. So 17, anything above 17 would work. I would actually consider getting into. So if it's like 19.50, I would definitely get into it if it's, if it meets all of our criteria. So the pricing, it's kind of there. I'll, give it a little bit of a pass since it's a little bit on the lower end. Then let's just see for our monthly sales. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pretty much all of them pass. So for monthly sales, yeah, this is definitely what we want to see. Now let's look at the reviews. So right off the bat, the product is too competitive. As you see here, yeah, there's really only one. There's pretty much only one of the listings that's under 75. So I'll definitely stay away from this product, and you should too. So this is a perfect example of a product that's too competitive. So definitely stay away from it. So this is the other product that I found, which is a cell seeding starter tray for seeding germination. For seeding germination, I'm really not sure what that is. I know that you plant them, or that's what at least I could tell. So let's go ahead and search for them. click the Jungle Scout app. While I let it do its thing, I just want to let you guys know that I'll be showing you guys how to check if a product is patented in just a second. Just gonna let this load and then we could go ahead and talk about that. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that the average price is $24. So let's just look to make sure. So we start off from 10. Okay, we have one that's over 20. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll count this, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have pretty much 8. And if we don't count this one, then we have 7 products that meet the pricing requirements. So this is something that I would definitely look into. So now let's go ahead and look at the monthly sales. So this one fits, this one, yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 out of 10. So that's definitely another plus. So I'll definitely be looking into this product. So now we're gonna go ahead and look at the review, see if they meet our requirements. So anything under 75. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of 10 products have it. Wait, was it? Let me just double check again. So 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of them. So this is definitely a product. Holy crap. So I found the product without really necessarily trying. So if you guys are looking for something to sell, I would just recommend that you guys look into this. As we see here, all of it meets our requirement. So we have this meets the requirement. So the pricing, everything's over 20. So most of them are over 20. Under monthly sales, they do sell over 300 units. Then if we look at the reviews, most of them are under 75 or are between that 25 to 50-ish range. So it's a sweet spot. So those meets our 3 requirements. Now, let's just say we decided to go with this product, which by the way, I actually didn't even mean, or this wasn't even my intention. It just came to be. So this is, you guys are actually seeing this. I actually didn't research this product and that was pretty cool. So if you guys are looking for a product, there it is. Now let's go ahead and talk about patents, just in case you guys are trying to sell something and don't know if it's patented or not. So what I like doing is going to patents.google.com. That's where you guys could go ahead and just basically browse around and see if your product could be patented, or you could also pay somebody in Fiverr to do the research for you. So let's just go to Google Patents, just do a very basic patent search. So for this one, this is a, what is it? Let's go back to the product. Okay, so let's just copy this, paste it in Google Patents. And we're just looking through it, see if we see anything that's similar to what we're trying to sell. Right off the bat, I'm not really seeing anything that is similar or any product that is patented, or the product doesn't seem to be patented. So I feel like this would work. Let me just make sure. See, I'm not that sure that this would work. Let's see, a starter cell for certain plan. So the product might be patented. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it, or it just might be that this certain cell tray is patented. So obviously if you plan to use that product, then that's something that you guys should definitely look into. From what I could tell, it looks like it might be patented just because of the design, like this little, what is it, like a triangle shape, like a little square triangle or little cone shape. So you guys see here, but there's really nothing that has that tray like you see here. So this one's a tough call. I'll definitely look into it, or would have somebody look into it to see if it is patented. But if it's not, then definitely you guys have a product right there. That's basically what you do when you search for a patent. You just basically type in the name of it and just search and try to find something similar. If there isn't, then you're pretty much in luck. You can go ahead and sell that product. And if it is, then you either contact that person or just avoid the product altogether. So that was still pretty crazy because I honestly didn't even plan that out. I was just looking for a couple of products and boom, I happened to stumble upon that one. So like I said, if you guys are interested in it, there it is. Do your own research. I'm honestly not sure if it's patented or not. From what I could tell, it might be just because of the design, or it just might be that certain design is patented. So definitely look into it. So just a couple final thoughts before I let you guys go. First of all, don't rush into it. This is not a race. You're not trying to race against anybody. You're not trying to see how fast you can find a product or if you can find it in record time. So don't do that. Don't try to rush into it, because again, you're just gonna pick a product out of desperation, or just because you're trying to rush it, you're gonna go ahead and choose whatever and it's gonna backfire. You're gonna be spending money on a product that's really not gonna perform well. So definitely don't rush it. Don't try to get it done in like a day or two. So take your time, but don't take too long. Obviously, don't just research for like 10 minutes every day for like a month or two. So don't do that. Do something that's manageable if you can, go ahead and use the Jungle Scout app for like a month and then just use it, or just do your product research for the whole month. And you also want to be going a couple levels deeper. This, what we covered right now, these are just the basics. The filters that you saw me set up, that's just a basic filter. You guys could obviously make different filters, so switch things up a little bit. So instead of going from 18 to 52, you guys could go from 19 to 53. So just switch things up a little bit, because if everybody does the same filter, then everybody's going to get the same results. So if you see a lot of people with the same results, it's just because they're using the same filter, and you want to go a step deeper. So not only switch up the filter, but once you find the product, go ahead and look for that seller, or just click on that seller's name and see what other products are selling. So let me just quickly show you guys. So let's just say we found this product, but you want to go a layer deeper. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and click on the name, Coconut Oasis, and we could see what else they're selling. So it's pretty much just this. So obviously they're just selling that, but in some cases, some sellers are selling multiple things, and you could go ahead and see what else they're selling and then just research that. So then type that into Jungle Scout, or just run the Jungle Scout extension on the keyword whenever you find the product that they're selling. So let's just say that this person was also selling shovels. Then I would go ahead and look at the shovels that they're selling and type in the keyword shovel and go ahead and run the Jungle Scout app to see if that's something that I would want to get into. That was just an example. Obviously, shovel's too broad, but you guys get the point. So that's pretty much it. Keep in mind that, again, this is just a basic search. This is the basic layouts, basic filter, basic everything. You guys want to take it a step deeper or a level deeper by going over and searching the supplier or the seller, or going over and looking at the suggestion, or looking at the suggestion list, or what other people buy, or related products and whatnot. And then you just start going layers deeper. So I will be making more videos related to Amazon. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to subscribe. And that's pretty much it for this video. And don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions or it confused you in a certain part. So go ahead and leave that and I'll reply to you, or I'll make a video off of it. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. See, this is weird because throughout the whole video, I was like this. You see? So it just felt weird doing this. Oh, I'm out of focus. I also had to deal with this, by the way, guys. So spent a couple retakes just making sure that I stayed in focus. All right, guys, I always find that outros just kind of awkward. I never really know what to say, so I'm just gonna leave it off like this. Fuck it. Boom. All right, I'm done.